The Nigerian Port Authority (NPA) is projecting a massive revenue leap to over 1.27 trillion naira in 2025, representing a 40% increase from the 894.86 billion naira it realized in 2024. This ambitious target, the authority says, is anchored on sweeping modernization efforts, the full activation of the Dangote refinery's marine operations, and the deployment of cutting-edge technology to enhance port efficiency. Managing Director of the NPA, Abubakar Dansoho, disclosed this during his presentation at a budget defense section with the House of Representative Committee on Ports and Harbors, where he defended the agency's 2025 budget estimate and provided insight into its 2024 performance.
For improving infrastructure in whatever industry. But most importantly, the accepted principle is that if you have a population in any region of the world, you are supposed to lead that region or continent. And if you have a population, you also have to have the biggest port. So it applies across board, intercontinental. The competition between even the terminal operators is helping Nigeria in the eastern ports. Because like you mentioned earlier about the eastern port, think One now is giving NPA more revenue than the other ports in Lagos, apart from Apapa. Because the terminal operators have discovered that if they drop a lot of containers in One, it will be easier for them to take them to Onitsha, to Aba, and then most likely even going to Maiduguri, Makodi, that eastern. That's the eastern corridor. So they have invested, as the last count, APMT, that is MEX. They've invested over $200 million to improve their facilities in One. And then the other company who is also there, the International Container Services Limited, which is the owners of the One multipurpose terminal, have also so far invested over $100 million. So you can see that they are attracting a lot of cargo into the eastern port. And then once the government's policy of improving, rehabilitating Port Harcourt, and then again, even in Port Harcourt, Boa Group is doing a lot to improve their own facility in their own terminal there. So, and then Julius Baja and Warri have also indicated their own interest to also improve their capacity in Warri.
2024, the authority surpassed its revenue target of 865.39 billion naira, posting an actual realization of 894.86 billion naira. However, Dansoho revealed that only 417.86 billion naira, less than half of the approved 850.92 billion naira expenditure, had been spent as of the time of reporting. Despite this, NPA made a record contribution of 400.8 billion naira to the Consolidated Revenue Fund (CFR) in 2024, nearly double the 213.23 billion naira remitted in 2023. Of this amount, a staggering 344.7 billion naira was deducted at source. Dansoho said the projected revenue increase is premised on several key assumptions and developments, including the full operation of the Dangote refinery, which alone is expected to draw in over 600 vessels annually through its single-point mooring (SPM) system, the commissioning of upgraded terminals at WACT and OMT, which will enhance container traffic, the implementation of automation tools such as the National Single Window Port Community System (PCS) and Vessel Traffic Management System (VMS), and increased cargo volume stemming from global decisions, including the Russia-Ukraine conflict, which has affected global trade routes. He said the 2025 revenue is expected to come from the following key sources: ship dues, which amount to 544.06 billion, cargo dues 413.06 billion naira, concession fees 249.69 billion naira, and administrative revenue 73.07 billion naira. Of the proposed 1.14 trillion naira total expenditure for 2025, 778.46 billion naira is earmarked for capital projects. This investment, he said, will target the revitalization of critical infrastructure, including the Calabar, Warri, and Burutu ports and channels, and enhanced storage services, channel depth, and compliance with international security conventions. He cited increasing competition from neighboring ports and aging assets across Nigeria's coastal corridors. The NPA also intends to address technology gaps by upgrading legacy systems and bolstering cybersecurity, ensuring Nigerian ports meet global standards for digital operations. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Nnolin Nnaji, urged the NPA to ramp up performance, improve port infrastructure, and play a greater role in addressing Nigeria's revenue and unemployment challenges. Nnaji said the ports remain a critical pillar for Nigeria's economy and urged the agency to meet rising expectations despite operational challenges. The committee praised NPA for its performance. Nnaji stressed that the NPA's performance has implications beyond maritime activities, noting that increased port output can significantly boost job creation across several sectors.
It's important in the sense that it's a very strong revenue generation for the country. Especially now, the government is looking for ways of increasing its revenue base. And it's also a strong base in job creation.
The lawmaker also pointed to growing interest in the development of new ports across the country, but cautioned against neglecting existing port infrastructure. The committee called for a clear outline from the NPA on how its 2025 financial plan will address pressing national concerns and reaffirms Nigeria's competitiveness in regional and global maritime trade. Baba Sunday, Eagles FM News.